Last week, the June update for Dreamlight Valley was released. I'm a few hours in now to playing the update, and while I haven't tried everything yet, I have so many thoughts to share with you that I thought I'd make a video with my first initial thoughts. Some of these thoughts are good, and some are not so good, but we'll start with the good ones first. First up, the fairy godmother is finally here. Yay! I've been waiting for the fairy godmother to arrive since the game was first released back in September last year, so of course I had to take some photos with her. It's so good to finally have her here and living in her pumpkin house. And the arrival of the fairy godmother also unlocks the next part of the storyline with the Forgotten, called the Remembering. And just a heads up that the next part of the video is going to contain a few spoilers, so you might want to skip forward a minute or so if you don't want to hear them. I was surprised by how much I enjoyed the Remembering quest. You enter realms to complete quests as the Forgotten, and these events have already happened in the past, so it's sort of like you're remembering them. The quests themselves are fine, and they're simple enough, but what the Forgotten says and what the quests say to do made me laugh so much, as it sounds like a lot of my past complaints about the game. I'm sure I've uttered most of these things. I've mentioned it a lot in past videos that the quests in the Dreamlight Valley often feel like hard work and like it's just going back and forth between the characters talking to them when they clearly could do this themselves. And this is pretty much what the Forgotten says. Have Disney been reading my thoughts? No. I enjoyed that this quest itself was a slightly different pace from the other ones, and I love that it gives you more history of the Forgotten. I had a lot of fun doing it for something that's not meant to be such a happy thing, if that makes sense. Some of the new items have started showing up in Scrooge's store for me, and I'm loving seeing more variety coming into his store. I did, however, encounter a bug where it shows the wrong item sometimes when I click on it to purchase. It would show the item that I had previously been looking at, so that made things a little confusing. Side note, if you hear some snoring in the background, it's my chihuahua Leroy. I tried to stop him before I started recording, and he did stop for a minute, but he started snoring again, so you might hear a few rumbles. Another thing that I'm loving in Scrooge's store is the new red dot that shows up next to items to indicate that you haven't purchased them yet. It's already helped me a few times, especially with the clothing, and now I'm not getting so confused whether or not I've bought items or seen them before, and it's just, helping me know I don't actually have some things that I thought I did. The World of Pixar Star Path is here, and while I honestly don't think I'll be doing it, I'm really glad that another Star Path has started. While I say I most likely won't be doing it, I might end up buying a couple of things. But honestly, the items mostly don't really appeal to me this time. Maybe I'm just still bitter because I missed out on the Mickey wheel from DCA in the last Star Path event. That's probably it. Some of the bugs I was previously experiencing before the update have now been fixed. I mentioned in my last Dreamlight Valley video that something as simple as handing over an item to another villager as part of a quest was causing the game to crash for me, but thankfully I haven't experienced that at all since the update. Overall, I am enjoying the update so far, but there are a few things I'm not so happy about. There are also a few things that are starting to bug me that weren't part of this update, that have always been part of the game, but I'll get to those. Now, I play Dreamlight Valley on both Xbox and PC, and I'm not sure if anyone else has noticed or experienced the same, but I am starting to notice since the update there are way more glitches and bugs that have arrived. It was starting to have so many less bugs and glitches that this is kind of disappointing. First up, I lost my progress at one point. I definitely 100% saved the game, and it was a cloud save too, but when I loaded up the game, the progress was gone. Thankfully it wasn't too much progress, but it was disappointing. I've noticed more characters are glitching again too. It's not the same as the infamous Kristoff rock hitting glitch that I experienced last year, but Elsa managed to get stuck just because a squirrel was next to her, and so I had to bump into them to make it stop. I was kinda disappointed to see that this has started. I also had this strange new glitch show up sometimes when I loaded up the game, where there would be this weird ghosting of the start screen showing up over the top of the gameplay for a few minutes every time. This glitch is even more strange and spooky almost, because when I tried to record it, it didn't show up on the screen recordings, so who knows what's happening with that. I don't know, it's like it was haunted and it actually was a ghost. No. Something that is not part of the update, but I really wish they would change in the future, but they doubt they will, is how the designing works within the game. I find the controls for designing the valley super counterintuitive, and things like putting down paths is really hard, and when I think I'm adding paths, I'm often removing them. Does anyone else find this hard, or is it just me? I don't know, it's not well designed. I'd really love to know whether others are experiencing this and hate it as well, because honestly, the way the controls work within designing right now is just crap. And I design and build in loads of other games like The Sims 4 and Animal Crossing regularly, and I never have these struggles in those games. Something else that I really hope they change in the final version of the game, or before then, I've actually contacted Gameloft about it, is if I want to stream the game, I can't stream from the PC. I mean, I can, but there's an issue. I have to use the Xbox, because if I try and play Dreamlight Valley on the PC on stream, I have to stay in the Dreamlight Valley window. Otherwise, if I tab out to go to OBS just to do normal like admin stuff you do while streaming, the audio stops in the game. Now, other games have done this in the past and there's a fix and it's fine, but Dreamlight Valley doesn't seem to have that. None of my usual fixes, like playing it in windowed mode, or possibly there might be settings in the game settings, and there are a few other things that I usually try, none of them work. So I really hope Disney fixes this / Gameloft, because I need it to work. It's so annoying only being able to stream from my Xbox. And it's not even my Xbox, it's my husband's, and that just causes more issues. And something else I want to note is that I'm a little shocked at how expensive moonstones are. Like, I know the game is going to be eventually free and they'll need to make money from microtransactions, but those of us playing at the moment paid to play the game. And the fact that they're expecting this much for Moonstone already when we've paid to play isn't great. Even when the game eventually becomes free, if the Moonstone stays at the current price, I still think it's overpriced. I am 99.9% sure that I won't be buying any Moonstone unless it comes down in price. And I honestly do fear that in the future the game may become like some mobile games with microtransactions, that if you don't pay for the microtransactions, it makes things in the actual gameplay near impossible to complete. That's just me being cynical about microtransactions, as I'm generally not a huge fan of them, but I do worry about it. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments about this. I think overall, I'd say the update is mostly good, but in general, I think the game still needs a lot of work before it's ready for full release. So hopefully more updates are coming before it's actually released properly, because I think it needs it. Thank you so much for watching. Have you enjoyed the update so far? What are your thoughts? Let me know, as I'd love to hear what others are thinking and whether anyone else thinks the same as me. And do like this video and subscribe if you haven't yet. Stay fresh, cheese bags. Bye.